Welcome to another edition of Ask the Hub, the series where we take questions from the community on business, technology and product development and talk with experts in the field from the Amplifyre Hub. Today we will talk about how to build a successful MVP, and our guest is Pawel, the COO of GeekForce. Hi Pawel, how are you doing?
Hello David, thank you very much for inviting me. I'm feeling good, I'm really excited for this interview.
Perfect, yeah, it's nice to have you here. So, GeekForce, interesting name. What is this company about?
This is pretty easy to explain. We are a pretty unique software house from Poland. The unique is the name, Geek and Force, as we try to work with best talents on the market. We became a GeekForce. What makes us special is maybe this, what will be the topic for the talk today, that we, from the beginning, we try to be specialized in MVP development. The story was from the one hand that we had a team that was specialized in this. From the second hand, we have a very strong connection to one of the biggest VC found in Poland, to Turewicz Capital. And based on this experience, this connection, we were able to grow up very fast, to establish several startups, to build some MVPs, learn, and also see a different perspective, not only from the startup point of view, but also from the venture capital point of view. And this, I think, brings us to this point that we are pretty effective in this, what we are doing, but also we try to be a good business partner for all companies that are planning to build the MVP. That's more or less our story, short story.
So when you're dealing with MVPs so much, right? What is it that defines an MVP? What is the difference between an MVP and any other software project?
There are several differences, positive and negative side. Maybe I will start with positive one, because from one hand, this is extremely interesting. You have projects very often that are working with the newest technology. This is very attractive for the development team. People get excited, have a bit different approach, very motivated, have feeling that they are doing something very unique. This is something that everyone likes to do, at least in our teams. But this is also a dark side of from this perspective. You need to be sure and have this kind of approach that you are working on very, very risky and uncertain projects that could end in very bad way, especially if you have an MVP for a startup. This is very often only one shot. I mean, this is not possible to make something like this once again, basically because in the early stage you have limited budget, so you need to try to build this MVP from the beginning in this direction that assure you that the startup will be successful later. If this is growing up, of course, it's not so risky as in the beginning. But anyway, I have a feeling, and this is my opinion, that working on MVPs required a kind of personality that is that like to work on a kind of risky environment and simply like this challenge. This is a kind of challenger's word. This is my definition.
It definitely is. It definitely is, and I can also tell from my own experience that I mean, it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of risk involved, and when I take a look at the startups that I've met during my life, I've seen that the variable that really is one of the most important ones is how many iterations can you survive, right? On one side from the financial perspective, but also from the psychological perspective, right? How much can you go through this? Yeah, the motivation, go through this till you actually get there, get this product market fit, really make sure, okay, now I found the secret sauce, right, that I was looking for. So definitely a very challenging field. So what are your tips to make it successful? If I would say, okay, Pawel, tell me the 3 most important tips to have a successful MVP. What would you say?
Well, maybe I will tell you that this is from one hand a business tip. This is already mentioned in the last question. Pick up good founders. Find someone who fits your expectation. Be sure that there's right people, that you can trust them and can survive. Try to launch as soon as possible. and then let your idea evolve and try to understand your user as much as you can. That's the business side, the points how to make it from the business perspective successful. From software development side is maybe a bit different. In here, you need to focus who will build your product. If this is I don't want to make a big advertise about GeekForce that we try to focus in business, but think about it that this is not only development of your product. This is something that someone who will be like a co-founder maybe, that you need to first know that he bring you added value, not only build your great software, but also help you out in market research, understand your business value, understand where you are, where are your competitors, or how are your unique selling points in the future. And this is from the perspective of software development, in my opinion, pretty important. And these two things put it together, thinking about how to make a great MVP, maybe this will help out in this particular situation.
Perfect. Okay, so thank you very much for your insights. If any one of our viewers has questions on MVP building or for GeekForce, please leave them down here in the comments. We are happy to answer them. See you next time.